Hello everyone, this is Aloy Merge, and in this video I will present to you one project that I was working, one of those latest ones. This is a landscape architecture company. They called EVOA Green Studio, and it will be a little bit different twist here. I want to share with you a different approach of how to build quickly to the degree, but I must say I will share with you my expertise and my observations how it went. I was first time giving it a try to use a Relium platform, and only I used that basically for wireframes, to the point of wireframes, and then I went to apply visuals. Now this project, this is a quick turnaround, so to say, to the degree, and here again I like to present that in expertise. I'll show you this is the result, and I'll be showing you the process. So from the beginning, I create the direction from style and branding. If you think about it, it's quite a thing to do. Not everyone have the brand guidelines and direction for the style. They do have some kind of ideas. This client, for example, had an idea, and that helps. But at the same time, if you think about it, you actually, when you build websites, you actually build a branding direction that can be captured eventually. So keep in mind that there is also a value that you deliver to your customers. So by developing brand in this degree, and of course you charge in that, and you have that in mind, and you charge for this because you know that you're going to be building more value than just website. So by developing branding, applying to the website, doing wireframes, and then applying to the website, designing, and then coding, like you see here in Webflow, to the end. But this time, that's what I'm going to show you. How I used a little bit Relium, and I will say it's good and bad to one degree, and I'll tell you why. First thing, what's bad about Relium when I apply is that I'm depending on structure that I have to respect, that is messy. And when I go and convert that to the Webflow, that's messy. Also, I like to have a clean control and custom manipulations. But the benefit, what I got out of that, some kind of already pre-made animated responsiveness that I will be showing to you. Like here, for example, this thing, for example, progress was already pre-made inside, so I didn't need it to create that. But in expenses of messy code, so it's a question how you want to go about it. I like to have control and build myself, and I love to build things custom and in full control. Here also stacking. That was also something that was valuable for me to get out of the Relium. But again, it's a messy. The code, the style, I needed to orient, to understand, and be careful to not to change that much, and to define what's working, what's not, because I needed to add more. For example, they had an example 4, I needed to add 5 and 6, and then I need to understand how they have the structure inside of the style of Webflow and naming, and to recreate those for the precise heights. So that's also, you still will have to do a job in respect to orient and understand what is it that you have in your hands, so to say. So, it's in some way it is saving time, but in some way it's not. I like clean whatsoever. I recently recorded ICB Church project. You can actually check it here. A really interesting project, really well done, custom, totally made by me from beginning to the end, and it was perfect. And responsiveness and sizing and everything, just a lot of attention and love was given there. So you can check it out, ICB Church website, how I build it. There you will see that I built everything from zero. Here again, using Relium. And let's go into this. Let me show you into the design. Let's go into this. So for example, this client, landscape architecture client, they had a logo, and I learned that actually they just used, I saw it somewhere, and it's exactly that logo. And I informed my clients saying, hey, actually be careful. Don't use what you found. You should be having some differentiation. So they recreated. I don't know if this one is something that I kept for myself, but they have recreated. Actually, let me see. Yeah, there you go. Really similar, just recreated it. I would not recommend to do that because you will be lost in differentiation. Nevertheless, they have a different flavor. Indeed, EVOA Green Studio, you still can recognize them by this way. I never have seen anyone using this, so it's recognizable and beautiful in a position of competitive marketplace. Then let's go to the sitemap, and here we go. So that's really interesting. Usually I build my own sitemaps. They call it as the sitemap or information architecture. For me, it's a little bit more. I call it as a wireframe phase 1, where you already start to think about what is inside the sequence of sections of the page, right? So for me, it's already kind of wireframe 1.0, and with sitemap in mind, kind of hybrid. Different people work differently. For me, it's already ahead. So, I use it, but again, you didn't really use the whole thing. I'm basically going to convert right away into the wireframes. And before doing that, this is something I need to clarify. We have some pages, we have some clarity. Services will be integrated into the homepage eventually. About also everything will be integrated. I like this, so when you go in this phase, you discuss with your decision makers, clients, and you learn that actually, indeed, we don't need to separate. We actually can build everything in one landing page, and that really actually even simplifies the process for me as a designer. And contact, everything, all these three will be there, and of course, privacy policy, all legals will be on their own pages. Only projects, even projects, to be honest, everything will be on the homepage. But the point is, only CMS for projects will have to be created, and that will be they'll be done. It'll be interesting because also what I do at the end, you'll see that I always provide my clients once I'm done, once we connect your domain, once we launch the website, I always leave my clients with a video walkthrough demonstrating how to make changes, change the text, change the image, how to use CMS, how to write blogs if they have blogs, they don't have blogs. I leave you with that video of guidelines, so to say, guiding you, so you can have access to the video anytime you need it, so you know how to do it without depending on me. That's what I do at the end. So let's go into this. Let's go to the competitor. So this is really also important part. I look into the competitive marketplace in the country where they're located, and I collected quite a set. You can see here a lot of competitors. But again, that's a beautiful thing. And once I'm checking competitors, I see that, well, they can become my clients. You think about it as a designer, I call designer, but it's more than design and my expertise. You can go and check it out. My portfolio, for example, here. You will see what I mean. There's a bridging gap between business goals and user needs with free expertise as branding specialty to UX UI design for websites as design and code to launch. And the third is product design. And more than that, from thinking as a branding and business therapist and communicator with decision makers. But if you're designing, let's say, specifically only websites, you can actually find, and not even websites, even in my situation, I see, well, for example, these are really good examples. I found some good examples of landscape architects. But when I see someone did work poorly, there are actually an opportunity for you to go and build them a website and demonstrate what you have built. So think about it, how you can distribute. In fact, it's for the good encouragement for myself, and that's what I will be actually thinking about. So I explore also some good examples that I liked, and I think it's a good standard. This architecture company, I really like them. Also, actually did the evaluation of their architecture website. You can also check it out here. And I use some references for the style direction that I recommend. So one style direction, another one is competitors that might not be in their country, but good examples of level that they have achieved. And then some competitors that are lower in competition because I'm building better results than they have. And and so by analyzing and understanding what we have there as the competitors, then we'll go to the design right away. And that helped me to build. And again, I'm showing you kind of clean to the degree this messy process is building. You go through hierarchy from sitemaps to competitors design. It was like kind of weaving in, and then it goes step by step, and you see just kind of frozen in stillness the face that we can see here. So wireframes, we have wireframes 1 and then wireframes 2. Again, because we have evaluated in style 1, so I will be developing style of different directions. And so with wireframes 1, it's interesting. So again, as I mentioned, Relium helps really interestingly well. Really helps in respect to the mobile version and the desktop, but also even same can be extracted here to Figma and then extracted to Webflow, and that's what I did. And first time I tried that into that level. Again, I would not do that, to be honest. Recently also I built some projects. I use Relium without actually taking it to Figma and Webflow, just used for the sake of ideas. That's how I used. Not anymore. And it's just same time. Basically, takes the same time. To be honest, it depends what you build. I like building custom, specific, clean, and responsive to the situation of my clients. That's why I like that fitness for my clients in the business in the marketplace. Unlike just replicating templates and elements. So I prefer to go this way, but if you really want to go quickly, you can really take wireframes, build visual supply, and that's it. But that will not make them stand out. That will not make them successful. They will be in a market. They will think they look great and so on, but they'll be just template based. And that's what I don't want for my clients. I want to build something custom. In fact, right now I'm building a really interesting project, and I really like what I did already in respect to the competitive marketplace and even professional, trustworthy look and feel. And you will see once the time is right. Anyway, so wireframes really helpful, really quickly to define and change, delete some elements. You go through delete elements, change texts, and decide. That's saving time. And mobile device, really good. Usually on my side also with a massive expertise behind my back, almost 10 years. I don't usually, when I myself will code, I don't really even don't bother about website, don't bother about designing mobile device, because I know I will be coding correctly. I've done so many that no need to spend the time. But again, I always like to say, if someone else will be coding instead of me, I will definitely do the design for the mobile version as well, so they will follow correctly. So anyways, wireframes, I will not be showing you all them. I only probably going to show you here. So wireframes 1 version was an idea like that, really quickly to approve. And you'll see the visuals in the wireframe 2. So I give some kind of different approaches, how we can go about it, present it, and with respect to the competitive marketplace also. But then I have styles. And you'll see we have just a slight difference, the brighter, like triune kind of giving atmosphere feeling, like it gives a sense of, space. Human must be present, interior, some kind of space for people to sit, and nature, really beautifully communicated. That could be that direction. I think this is also really good, but then it was, I would like to go with this one, but then each version was really quite well presented. Here, it's a more darker version, even logo can be like that. But it was something off about it. I think it's not really memorable from my observation. And we ended up with this one. And they really good that they provided some imagery already, so I used some imagery. Some of them I needed to explore, and some I will actually, we'll explore. But this one, for example, they had, and I use it. So we ended up, I think, with this version to the degree. You'll see. Yeah, there'll be changes, but this will be also adapted. So this idea of like the style, but then because we'll be integrating the projects and contact form into one landing page, it will evolve. And so visual design number 2, and wireframes number 2. So once clarifying that I'm actually going to build on everything basically on landing page based on the feedback, it kind of actually saved me good times that I needed to build two pages only based on their request. So, and we chose the direction of style. So there was like defined and refined. And that's what I decided, and I'm going to use it. So really beautiful, the stacking, you will see, and good idea about the services, who they are, and contact form will be here. Really beautiful, really simple, really to the point. I really like it. And project one version of CMS, so to say, how it's going to be. They'll be uploading the projects. And again, that's the thing. The challenge usually for clients, generally, not only for mine, but generally, when we build a high standard website, it is expected to have photography and videography and assets to the same degree. And it's really important to keep it consistent and professional, trustworthy look and feel. And you can have amazing website, but if you'll not keep up with a proper presentation of those photographies, photographic elements and everything, because they present landscape architecture and they'll be taking photos on site. And that's why you need brand guidelines that will demonstrate how to present that. And again, not everyone have right time for this. So in the future, hopefully they'll understand and they'll need it. But let's see. So what happens? So the wireframes number 2, then visuals number 2. That's what happens. So you build already these elements, updating playing with the logo, application, color code, and then we see the mobile version. And really interesting actually. You can see mobile version desktop. This is how I'm going to look like. Some references images that I have as a placeholder. So here will be the main free featured projects they will be uploading, and it's their decision. I would recommend to have a collection of those, but better for me, less work, and I appreciate that. But and I would actually recommend myself for landscape architects or architects on their main page to have featured. Usually, what I notice in export many architecture companies, they tend to show all projects that they have, and sometimes it makes sense with this massive organization, but don't show everything. I just recommend it to show the best. And here I recommend to show, because the beginning, this is just a starting company, go with a free featured, and they still need to show free featured. You'll see that if you go to their website, you'll see that they still need to wait until, because it's landscape architecture, they need right season to take photography. They're not ready yet to upload work, so they early. And I appreciate that we managed to finish it, and I showed them how to deal with a CMS. So they can upload, once they have photography, they'll be uploading those photos themselves. And if they need me, I'm always there to help them. If they forget how to do that, or they want some kind of special eye attention from me to make sure it fits. And yeah, so that's how it goes. And you can see the mobile version right away here to the side. beautifully how it fits. There's thought need to be done. Again, it's not just Relium, really. It takes time still to build it and to make sure that it actually fits correctly and it looks perfectly. And yeah, so these photographies also I needed to select, and you can see they'll be stacking and they're explaining the service and the photography. It takes time. Usually photography selection, proper, consistent selection takes time to be, to allocate time for this. So that took some attention of mine. And then idea for their team. And this is placeholders. They should replace themselves with the photos. And again, I always recommend my clients to make professional photo session for themselves that look consistent and respecting the demonstration on the website. And it's always a decision for them to go with this. Also, beautiful photo that they had. I really appreciate they have this asset, really beautiful connections, and really good style. Now, and here is how it looks like when you select one of the projects. And this is how it's going to look like. So I'm going to give you basic information, main photo, and then the gallery will go like this. Like you see on the mobile device and a desktop. Beautiful. And then in the end, always will be like more projects to explore that CMS system will be recommending. And yeah, that's about it. Let's go into the presenting how it looks like. For example, this is wireframes, but visuals. This is in Figma, right? The visuals, and it's not functional, it's static totally. We just explored it to you. You can see nothing really responds here. Here it's also not stacking, but in Webflow you'll see it will be so. And so that's good. And I didn't need to build a structure that much. The Relium did it, but visuals and responsiveness needed my attention. Now let's go into the Webflow. So you'll see that I built the whole thing, and you'll see the cookies notice. I'll agree with that. That's from my side. And you can see the contact, about us, and that will just anchor them down. Like projects will go back, and that's the page. So there you go. So this is the view. There are projects, and if you click it, it will snap down and their services. So it's just basically on landing page snapping, and we go back. So here images, I'm just placeholder images holding here for the not to disturb anything. So they will be doing the CMS themselves. And if you click, you'll go into the project. Let me do that. If we do that, you see we have project, we have gallery, and they'll upload it from a CMS backend. And then these will be also projects connected and then contact us form. There will be another thing. This my name also made by me. I start to do this. I appreciate that point from this client. This is also anchoring. By the way, interesting. Yeah, that's another thing that I needed to learn. Really not learn, but try. Like, it's really convenient because it's anchor. So actually, if I'm on my own projects, if I enter the projects, and if I'll click one of those that anchored, there's a specific way to do this in code that if I'll click, for example, services, it will take me to the homepage exactly to the services snapped. And it's really convenient it's correct way to make sure that user, and I would not recommend in user experience to do that. I would recommend to make separate pages. It's correct, but user still will be lost. Like I know, client knows, but some people will think, wait a second, where is it that I am? And they actually on the homepage. So I would recommend to do better, clever approach. But this is what my client really wanted, and it's the best you can do. It's correct way, but it can be better for the user experience sake, so to say. Anyways, so but it's good. Don't get me wrong. So and contact also okay, goodness snap. So let's go back to the project like we had there. Again, I'll go into one of the projects. We'll observe the project in gallery. I'll show you the CMS a little bit. Contact. I'll talk a little bit about that also. Contacts and the copywriting and let's see, privacy policy. Yeah, so we have that. And also some policies made by me that will take to the LinkedIn. Projects, let's click this one. Okay, good. So here are featured projects, as you know, and then we'll go here. So this is steps. So you see this progress bar. It's also interesting, to build these things based from Relium, and it saved some time. But at the same time, because I added more points, I needed to make sure that it's correctly loading, and you still need to understand the system. So for me to code, I needed it specific, where it's going to start to scroll with us as we scroll. So I wanted specific position in mobile and desktop. So I needed to adapt that. And here is also really beautiful. So you can click actually, it's going to snap. I can click this, it's going to snap. I can click the first one, it's going to snap. Really beautiful, like scrolling and stacking. And the idea is here that you can see all of them by title. And there you go. So you can see all of them, for example, right? 1 to 6. That was also an interesting, clever approach. really humorous, a little bit touch that they enjoyed, not to show people, but as placeholders. They need to replace those with their own photos. But there's guidelines how they can go about it, because they thought they want something, they have some kind of interesting idea about it. So I thought, oh, let me give you some interesting idea recommendations so you can go with this as a reference. Beautiful photo, beautiful system. You have social media, and what we have here is that something also I tried first time connecting to the third party is that, okay, put your name, your email, your phone, project title, and the location, and the message. But here is something to inform that you can upload, because you need quite. I think you need the either e-commerce or some special plan from Webflow in order to allow to attach files. So instead, I needed to find a third party that actually allows to do that. So actually, I learned how you can upload, to connect to the third party, where you can upload the photography, allow user to upload photography max 10 megabytes, for example, connected to the third party, and then it will be sending that information. And my client will be informed, and they have, and then I put that account on from the third party platform to their account, and that worked. This was also something interesting for me to give it a try. So and basically, yeah, that's it about the website. Pretty good, pretty simple, straightforward, and professionally designed. Now, if I go to the responsiveness, I'd like to show that also, and you will see that when we make a screen smaller, it's responsive, it's correct, and again, the box you can see have to be kind of scaling correctly in a snapped position, height and width. What else? We see that when it goes smaller, this menu becomes like this. Also, pre-made in Relium, really appreciated. Some things it really saves time, but again, as I say, it makes it kind of in a way template based, which is okay. But at the same time, the code is and system and style is not really organized. It's quite messy, and so there's still work to be done. And what do we see here? So the bar will be always responding here, and once we get to the mobile device, it will become vertically stacked. So I always like to show how that is professional. But these, I think, will not stack. I think you could do it, but here on a phone, or maybe they will actually, I don't know, maybe on the phone itself it will stack, but not on a desktop. But if not, they'll go like this. I'm not sure. So it's responsive and everything is well organized. That's it. That's all I wanted to present. Yeah, it was an interesting project. So to conclude, I'm happy. It was really good. It's not as quick as you think with the Relium. That's the important part for me to tell you. And but it's still worth to try. And after that, I didn't stick with Relium only for the sake of thinking how it works. You can go your way. For me, I'm building custom things, and I like to have clean code, clean style manipulation in Webflow. And it's not complex, not messy, so I can understand. We can easily change in the future. But it's your choice. Where you want to save your time on, and it doesn't really feel like saving time. If you really want to be quick and cookie cutter, so to say, and template based, and you don't really care for clients to stand out and be different, and if you don't really measure as I do in competitive marketplace and trying to build a unique touch and professional, trustworthy look and feel, and all you care is just to quickly done with the project and give clients what they want, I think you can go with Relium. But based on my values and professional expertise and what I appreciate, and I just cannot not ignore the important parts to be correctly done professionally, and fitness in all layers, so to say, to their business, to the user needs, to competitive marketplace, to the professional and trustworthy look and feel, responsiveness, clean code, and consideration for the future and such. The only thing is what I could show you, which I didn't ever really showed you, but there's a CMS system that you build. But I think I showed in previous projects, but I'll not be showing that. So the point is, you as a client, before I end this presentation, is that it's a project. So I create a system, and I record also for my clients a separate video demonstrating how to do the CMS manipulations without me once they need it. And they did it. Actually, I'm really happy. If you check their website, you'll see that they uploaded some projects, which again, they need to stay consistent It's always something important. Some clients really care about consistency, and they ask my eye. They need my eye to check if they release blogs, if imagery selection is correct. They ask me to help them. Some really don't care, and they really butcher the project. And I really think it's really clever and correct to keep it consistent. Make sure the branding, website, and assets and media assets, everything is aligned. So why? Because you're going to win. Because you're going to stand out. It will be noticeable and visible that people want to be part of your brand and have your service. And you'll be recognizable and respected, and they will want to have what you have. So with CMS, this is what happens. So they will come, they will create a project, and they will be uploading the basic information, and then in their case, another project will appear. I think I made a limit of 3 max. I can limit that, and if they want more, and we can make more, they can replace one of them. So that's it. That's a little bit about CMS. Guys, thanks for your attention. This was really good to finish this project and present to the clients. Clients are happy. I'm glad that they have the results, and that's it. Take care. This was Emerge with you. Have a good day.